After 2 years of the civil war between Ferus and Uchiha, Turuk Ma fought for his people's rights, specifically the right to independence. Uchiha's leaders constantly picked wars with surrounding countries, and their people being drafted. The population of Uchiha decreased 13% due to losses. Turuk Ma fought for decades, and now all he had to do was set a boundary. Where would his new country be? Turuk Ma packed his things, visited his late wife's grave, and hitched a ride on a yak and headed west. Turuk Ma was old and only had one child, a girl named Mao Ma. When he passed, she would become leader. She always followed in his footsteps, always praised him. Little did he know she resented him, even had plans to kill him 10 years ago. Turuk Ma took the long but safe route, cutting through Ustauji to avoid treacherous mountains. The water between Ustauji and what was to be Ferus was only shallow. However, a storm the previous night made the rapids rougher than usual. While crossing this river, Turuk Ma noticed his yak was struggling, even losing footing on occasions. He unhooked the tools from the yak's sides, jumped off, and using the last of his strength, pushed himself towards the rocks. Turuk looked ahead and saw his yak struggling. He hoped taking off the weight would help it glide toward the rocks, but no, it got swept away. Turuk Ma knew where he stood was too close to Uchiha, so he took a deep breath, attached his staff to his back, and dived in. He knew it was dangerous. The man was in his 90s. Turuk was slashed against a boulder, was held there for a second, then swept away toward the yak. He was forced underwater, but didn't have the energy or strength to push himself back up to the surface. All his important moments in his life flicked like pages of a book in his eyes, and suddenly they darkened. Turuk Ma awakened on a snowy bank beside the river. It was dark out. He realized he couldn't breathe, so he turned himself over. He started to cough up water and dirt and a bit of blood. This was a sign of a cheer, a plague that swept across the food mills in Uchiha. He hoisted himself onto his bottom and looked around. Turuk saw his yak. It had a cut in its stomach. It had passed. Turuk pushed him into the bioluminescent rocks and algae in the river and said a prayer. Avelina, I have always questioned your existence, but if I need you any time, it is now. Please make Sutada, his yak, rest peacefully. I too do not have much time left. Judging only by my symptoms, I won't make it through the night. Please lead the people, show them to my location, let Mao guide them to victory. Thank you. Turuk rested his eyes, knowing that he may not be able to open them again. Turuk awakened to the sound of Zufband, another fruit of war. He had made it through the night. He got up and realized people he recognized were all around him, including Mao, who was at the front of the cloud.